views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
For over 30 years, her voice was heard every Sunday on 107.5 WBLS, co-hosting the WBLS Sunday Classics with her legendary broadcast husband. The Sunday Classics has consistently been rated as a top 5 program in the #1 market. It has had the largest listening audience in the history of radio. Debi Jackson joins me next right here on Perspectives with yours truly, Daren Jaime.
What's on your mind?
Let 'em know.
What's on your mind? What's on your mind?
Let 'em know.
Anything relevant to life, you bring it to the table. Whether you make a move solo or a movement with a stable. No fables, you speak on your decisions. Cause in the long run, it's your voice, your views, your vision. Keeping it real with many messages for you to know. This ain't radio, but DJ runs the show. Entertainment, he rocks it. Politics, he locks it. The host with the most would handle any topic. Don't forget to share your perspective with shines of light. Cause it might make a difference in someone else's life.
Make a difference.
What's your perspective?
Express what's in your heart and your mind. Share your perspective.
What's your perspective?
And hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Perspectives. I am Daren Jaime. And of course, we thank you for watching. You can watch Perspectives every week here on BronxNet's Channel 67. If you have Verizon Files, of course, that's going to be Channel 33. Or check us out on the web at bronxnet.org. Now, if you want to check us out also, you got social network. We got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, my professional page on Facebook, Daren C. Jaime. You can get some information as well as some inspiration. And if you stay connected to us, we stay connected to you, and that's how Perspective works. Well, today's guest, she was born, raised, and educated right here in New York City. For over 30 years, she was known as the radio world as Debi B, where her voice was heard every Sunday on 107.5 WBLS, co-hosting the WBLS Classics. And the Sunday Classics we all know about. Debi's radio career began beside her legendary broadcast husband, Hal Jackson, in New York City, and the Sunday Classics have been consistently rated as a top 5 program in the #1 market and has the largest listening audience in the history of radio. And Debi's voice now can be heard widely as the national radio voice for the Essence Music Festival, the Essence Awards, and many radio commercials. And it is a pleasure, a privilege, and an honor to have Debi Jackson here with us on Perspectives. Good to have you.
Well, thank you for having me.
It's an honor, to have you and the great work that you've done in the history of media and, in radio. And what's it like for you to hear that, and
It's amazing. It's just amazing. I'm not used to hearing that.
Right.
You don't think that you're doing something for 30 years, and then all of a sudden it's like, it's been 30 years. Okay.
Right. And I mean, New York City and,
Yeah.
The tri-state area have become used to Sunday Classics with your legendary husband, right?
That's
and
true.
Everybody knows that I was teasing you before the show, Hal Jackson comes on for the hours. We're going to get the old school. We're going to get everything.
That's true.
But you created really, in many ways, was a phenomenon.
Yeah, actually, there are articles that are out that stated, turn your radio on. It's Sunday. And before his show, people weren't listening to radio on Sundays. So we started a phenomenon.
Yeah, yeah. And for you, looking back and saying, wow, you know what? This went on and we really changed the culture.
Yeah, we did. And changed what radio would sound like, because before, radio kind of was all in R&B, but they never went back. And we were playing the Sarah Vaughns and the Nina Simones and the Ella Fitzgeralds, all of the things that you couldn't hear on radio, which made it different.
And looking back now and saying, hey, a great career that continues, right? But how radio has changed.
A lot.
Yeah.
It is. Everything's syndicated now. Before, you would just be in one market, like with Hal. Hal would be on 3 different radio stations in the same day, but he would have to drive to each of those stations. Now you just have to tune in and you're there across the country.
Right. What was that like, keeping up with 3 different radio stations?
I don't know. That was back in the early 40s when he did that. But he enjoyed it. That was his life.
Yeah.
He enjoyed radio.
And what about for you?
For me, I loved it. I mean, for me, it was just on Sundays, though.
Right.
You know, but we would always.
It's a family
everything,
affair.
yeah. But everything surrounded around Sunday. If we went away, we'd come back on Friday so that Saturday we could rest, and Sunday we do the show because the show would be on for 8 hours. That's a long time.
She said, 8 hours. What was that 8 hours like?
It didn't feel like it.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
because
when
you're
you love
playing
what you do.
exactly, and you're playing all the kinds of music that you just like hearing, and everybody would call in with requests, and so we had a great time.
Yeah. So for you right now, you know, looking back, BLS saying, hey, you know, 30 years, did it go by quick?
Very quickly.
Right.
Very quickly.
Yeah. So, if you don't know, we're joined by Debi Jackson, and she is the legendary voice, or WBLS, her husband, the legendary voice, Hal Jackson. When did you guys recognize that you were onto something special?
He recognized it right away because he started that show and it was just 2 hours.
Right.
And he did it, and then it went to 4 hours, and then it went to 8 hours, and then it went to 9 hours, back to 8 hours, back to 4 hours, back to 3 hours, then to 2 hours. So it was just, we moved with the time.
And for you, your voice still resonates today.
Kind of, sort of.
Kind of, sort of, though. Kind of, sort of, no, definitely, sort of. What you doing?
Well, basically, I'm in photography and travel now. I take a lot of pictures, and I like traveling. All of my friends say, okay, where are you going next?
Right.
Because I would travel at least once a month somewhere.
Favorite place?
Turks and Caicos.
Really? What about it?
It's just calming. I like going places where it's just, when you go on vacation, for me, it's sitting back and relaxing. Some people want to go on vacation, they want to go here, they want to go there, they want to go here, want to be out all night. I can sit on the beach and just relax.
And have a good time. And
All
just
by
take-
myself.
And take it easy. That's the best way. Party for one, table for one.
There you go.
Been there, done that. Continue to do that. Photography for you has been a lifelong.
Yeah, I started when I had my first Kodak way back when. The film.
Dark room.
Exactly.
And negative.
That's right. As a
Right.
matter of fact, I did go into the dark room.
Is that right?
That's right.
Okay.
When I was at Fordham University, I did that. I did the dark room and did black and white.
Some people don't know what we're talking about.
I know, it's different.
Google, baby, Google.
Now it's Lightroom and Photoshop.
Right, exactly. And you can Photoshop right on your phone too, right? But so you started early.
I did.
What was
I
it that
did.
captured you about photography?
I don't know. I really don't know. I just know that pictures last forever, you know, and I feel that you can see things, but each person sees it differently. And so I try and capture things and say, okay, this is for me. You know, I just like photography. I just love it.
So, you know, from back in the days of Kodak to right now, obviously the love and the passion continues. But if you had something that you had to say, what's my favorite that I focus on with your photography, what would it be?
Sunsets.
Really?
Each one is different.
You sound like my sister.
Really?
Is there something about, I mean, maybe, I see, once again, we talk a little bit, you have to have a passion, right?
Yeah.
But my sister just happens to love sunsets, and she's a photographer. She does it. She actually drew a painting of sunsets, and I mean, it's just really what she is.
Each one is different. There are no two sunsets. I've taken a lot of pictures, and never are there two. The sun goes down, but the
Right.
clouds and the sky is just, it's amazing, and it's beautiful. And it's after the sun sets, that golden glow that comes.
So are you the type of person that keeps the camera with you all the time? Or?
All the time.
So just never know when something's going to happen.
All the time.
Really?
And I can be driving, and all of a sudden, I see something, I pull it out. Not good, but I do it.
Right. Shh. Don't try this at home.
I didn't say that.
She's a professional. Don't try this at home. So you keep it, and every time you see something, it's pretty much a pop in the shot. Oh, listen, I want to talk more with Debi Jackson. We're going to talk a little bit more about her career, photography, Essence Music Festivals, those things coming up right here on Perspectives.
maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made this vacation happen,
Double points with every purchase?
cleverly merging promotions,
Love it.
cross-referencing travel sites, and booking all your flights with those.
Vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh, but now they're like, aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
I can't change, even if I tried, even if I wanted
Debi Jackson is our guest here on Perspectives, and 30 years, WBLS. Her husband, the legendary Hal Jackson. You hear every Sunday religiously. Grew up in, man, those were the days. I mean, just really growing up. How many, when you walk around, people always tell you that, right? And what's it got to feel like to you? Because, you know, it's kind of like if you're on television, it's a different vibe. But when you're on radio,
Well, a lot of times people don't know me.
until
They hear my voice, and
Right.
it's like, I know that voice. I'm like, oh, okay.
yeah,
From radio. But no, people do say, I wish that it was still on, and I say, I wish too.
yeah,
But
yeah.
Time moves on.
Syndication, well, yeah, and syndications are taking the air out of a lot of people's balloon. But you know, you got to move on.
That's true.
And so you're keeping busy. We talked a little bit about photography, but let me
Right.
go back to Hal for a minute because Harlem is home for me too. So there's the co-naming of the street.
Yes, as a matter of fact, I started this almost a year ago. 135th Street and Lenox/Malcolm X Boulevard. We've been trying to get that corner from 135th down to 134th Street, named Hal Jackson Way. He used to live in that building right there, and he was one of the first tenants. So I went and sat in their lobby and collected signatures and took it to Community Board 10, and then it went to the Transportation Committee, so we're still working on it, but it's coming along.
It'll happen.
It takes
yes.
a while.
It takes a little while, but yeah, 130, a lot of names over there. Charlie Rangel's over there. And Cal Ramsey
That's
used to live
right.
over there.
Percy Sutton
Right.
is on Fifth Avenue.
right,
135th.
right. I grew up there. I played basketball over there. Kennedy
Oh,
Center.
yeah.
The bathhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Schaumburg.
Right. Harlem
Harlem
Park.
Hospital.
There it is. Yeah. See. Harlem World all the way. But we're
That's
here in the
right.
Bronx. We're talking about the Bronx too.
Right,
so,
right.
but
I grew up in the Bronx.
where?
Soundview, 172nd and Bronx River. My mom is still there.
Ah. Fondest memory?
My fondest memory of the Bronx, let me think now. Just going around the corner on Wheeler Avenue and hanging out with my friends.
Yeah. She's gone from Wheeler Avenue to wheeling all around the world. I want you to know that. And you have an online travel store now.
Yes, I do, myfeettravel.com.
So what's that about?
If you want to go away,
Right.
you want to book, air, hotel, myfeettravel.com, and you can do it.
There you go. And you spend a lot of time traveling around the world.
Yes, I do.
So what's it like for you being able to just expand? You said once a month, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, okay. We won't give it away, but yeah. What's it like for you being able to see?
I've been blessed. I've been truly blessed to be able to go to a lot of different places. And with that, I take my photography and I'm able to capture, the travel. And so a lot of my pictures are like from Thailand and from,
And we're seeing some right here. So tell me what taking a look right here.
oh, that's from Cuba. I was in
Okay.
Cuba in 2016 and in 2017. I went down with the Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
And that's Charles Rangel. He went with us.
Right.
And I was able to capture him there, looking down on all of those old cars, and I call that Rangel over Havana.
Wow, okay. Now go back if you're not, we'll talk about the Eiffel Tower.
That's Paris.
Right.
I was there, oh God, I've been there a number of times, but that's when I started really taking photographs. Because you know how you just take pictures just to be taking pictures, and then I started taking pictures. Because what I do with my pictures, that's from Venice.
Right.
What I do with my pictures is I sell them, and all of the proceeds from the the photographs go to the Youth Development Foundation, which is Hal Jackson's Talented Teens. So I award scholarships to young ladies.
Right. And so far, over $2 million.
And scholarships and prizes, yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, we used to take kids to Paris and to Italy and to the Caribbean. The winner of Hal Jackson's Talented Teens, we would take them different places that they'd never seen. A lot of people hadn't seen anything outside of their backyards.
Right.
And there was one young lady who had never had vegetables, who had never been on an escalator, never mind a plane,
Right.
you know, and they get back to me and they thank me. There was, what is his name? Kia Dawn Winston, who's now married to Mike Tomlinson.
Yes.
She was our winner, our international winner.
Stop.
And she said that the first limousine she ever rode in was with us. The first bottle of perfume that she ever had, I had purchased for her. I mean, just
Little
small things. Yeah.
Right.
Jada Pinkett Smith came through, Cheryl Lee Ralph, Taraji P. Henson. A lot of them have come through Talented Teens, yes.
Amazing. And now as you look at your roster, you say what? I mean, God. What an imprint.
Ambassador Susan
Johnson
Cook.
Came through.
Talented Teens.
Sujay? For real?
Yes.
She ain't tell me that.
Ask her.
Get out. Oh, we've had her right here.
Yeah. Allison Williams, Melissa Morgan. I mean, just a lot of young ladies.
Amazing. Wow. You just learned something on perspectives. I asked the questions, but I want to let you know I'm learning something here, you know. And for you, very special this year because you were the first voice for the Essence Music Festival,
yes,
right?
Yes.
So that's 25 years ago.
25 years. Time flies.
Talk about 25, 30, right. So.
And I'm going back this year for the first time in 25 years.
So you haven't been.
Actually, I was supposed to go. The year that Prince was there, when he was performing about 4 years ago, because it was before he died, of course, and had gotten on a plane, and Nile Rodgers was up in first. I wasn't in first that year, and I had gone to the back, and then the plane didn't take off, and Nile got off and went and took a private jet down to the Essence Music Festival because he was playing with Prince. He said, had I known that you wouldn't have been able to make it, I would have taken you with me. I'm like, why didn't you ask anyhow?
Right. See, a whole lot to talk about. Listen, got Debi Jackson here. Taking a quick break. We'll be back with more right after this. Isn't that something?
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
I did. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls. But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that strollers have the right of way on the sidewalk?
Yes.
Yep, I did. Did you guys
Did you know that kids who eat breakfast have higher GPAs?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That's actually what I was going to say.
Did you know babies should never touch silver? It's really bad for them.
I knew that.
Did you guys know that statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat at the right age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
I'm putting that on my blog.
I just put it in mine.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving, the ultimate party foul.
Back here, All Perspectives, Daren Jaime here with you. Our guest, Debi Jackson, in studio, sharing a little bit about her life, the legacy, the work that's going on, her imprint, Essence Music Festival. Thank you for coming and being on the show.
Sure,
of course,
no
we said Thank you for sharing. You know, Bob Lee decided to share you with me. You know, that you've had Bob. How long have you known Bob?
Oh my God! Ever since I was at BLS.
Yeah.
He was there ahead of me.
See, really?
Yes.
Get
He went
out.
there as an intern.
Okay. Okay.
And still there.
We got a picture of that. I don't know if you find a picture of Bob. I think it's a picture we're gonna throw up with Bob later on in his youthful days. We got Bob early on. You talked about a lot of these great celebrities, right? Who've been a part of the program. And scholarships have been awarded almost $2 million in scholarships. You dropped some major names, right? But now you're getting ready to have a reunion.
Yes, we are. And I sent something out, I believe it was about 2 months ago, and we're having a great response. It's going to be July 11th through the 14th in Mexico, in Playa del Carmen.
Okay.
And we're going to have a fun time.
I imagine so. So what can you expect? I mean, what's it going to look like?
Well, I know that on that Friday night we're going to have an all-white affair, and I'm still trying to put it together.
Right.
I know it's kind of close, and I should have done all of that before, but it's going to be nice. And the thing is getting to see all of these people who have gone on into different areas, because those young ladies were 13 to 17 when they came to Talented Teens, and now they've gone on to become judges and lawyers and actors and, you know, legislators and just wonderful individuals. So it's like a family affair, because Talented Teens was always like a family reunion every year when we did it.
And you got to have an eye for talent, because your list of who you've had come through there. I mean,
well, a lot of the young ladies that came through who didn't make it to the international, they may not have been talented, but we were able to give them lots of input so that they would learn how to present themselves on stage and how to be good individuals as opposed to just running around doing nothing.
Well, I think you spoke about it. I mean, you talked about a platform and exposure, right? I mean, I was blessed that I had the opportunity to travel myself at a young age, but I think you shared a little bit earlier that really when you look at people, and we take it for granted that the person that we might be living next to or the young man that we see walking down the street doesn't have the same amount of exposure, and you guys were able to provide that.
You would be surprised. There was one young lady that we took to France, and we were in the Palace of Versailles, and someone came over and she had on her sash. She said, "Hal Jackson's Talented Teens," and they were talking in French, and she was able to converse with them in French. I said, "That's nice." Then there was another time we had another young lady there, and a lady came over and said, "Hal Jackson's Talented Teens, what's that?" And she said, "Oh, that's her man." I said, so
gosh.
we had, it was a talent competition.
Right.
And what we would do is we would award scholarships to the young ladies, but they had to have a 2.5 average, which isn't very much.
Right.
And so a lot of them weren't very smart, but they were very talented.
Exactly.
Okay, but now when I award the scholarships, they have to have a 3.0 or better.
Bumped it up a little bit higher.
Hey.
Got to come on up a little higher.
Just a
That's
little.
right. Just a little bit, and people could do that. So as we talk about your business once again, online travel, so if people want to have the opportunity, what do they do?
myfeettravel.com, and they can go anywhere in the world.
Yeah, and just book and go. Debi Jackson, our guest here on Perspectives, and she's been sharing with us a little bit about her career, photography. So if you haven't got a chance to shoot anything, what is it that you haven't shot that you want to shoot?
Oh, I want to take a trip to the Tahitian Islands. I want to cruise the Tahitian Islands and take pictures.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to do that within the next 2 years. There and China. I'm going to get the Great Wall of China.
Oh my gosh, so my great friend just came back from China and talked about, has chronicled the trip on Facebook, sent everything on. I'm ready to go to Shanghai. I swear she just came back, and I was like, are you serious?
Yeah,
And
Shanghai has all of those high-rise, a whole bunch at night.
Yeah.
I see it.
And the malls and...
Oh, I didn't know that. And Dubai. I want to go to Dubai and to the Maldives Islands. There's a few places.
Yeah, that you work it on. That you work it on. So photography, she does radio, she's hosted a radio show, she's shot. What is there left to do? What do you want to do next? I mean, you talked about those things right there.
I just like to travel. I just like being me and just, A lot of people, you know, when they've been exposed to different things, they get this big head and everything. And I'm not that person. The one thing that Hal taught me was to be very humble. And there's one thing that I have to say about him. We were going down 2nd Avenue one time, and you know how wide 2nd Avenue is? Because the station was at 801 2nd Avenue. And he crossed the street, and I said, "What are you doing?" And he went across the street just to give this homeless person some money. And I said, "Why did you cross the street?" He said, "Because he's usually on this side."
Wow.
That's the kind of person he was.
Yeah. Pays attention to everything. And a giver. Greatest life lesson that you want to leave people as we're getting ready to wrap things up, life lesson that you learned through your career in radio?
Well, my motto is smile at the world and the world will smile back at you. Because I walk down the street and if you walk and you smile, you get a smile back.
Right.
If you look at people and don't smile, you don't get one back. I like smiling. So
Smiling
I wanna
is
see other
good.
people smiling.
And you take the photos when they smile. And the sunset. I got it. Debi Jackson's been our guest here on Perspectives. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure and an honor having you.
Thank you.
Gotta come again.
I will.
All right. Pleasure. Debi Jackson, our guest here on Perspectives. And to let you know, listen, you can check Perspectives out every week here on BronxNet Channel 67, Verizon Fios, Channel 33, anytime on the web at bronxnet.org. And yes, her motto is smile at the world, and the world will smile back at you. So smiles, everyone. Got to leave you here on Perspectives. Daren Jaime saying take care. God bless. We'll talk to you soon.
Express what's in your heart and your mind. Share your perspective.
What's your perspective?
Let them know.
What's on your mind?
Let 'em know.
Express what's on your
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket. Again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.